How's it going, everyone? Welcome to a brand new video. My name is Faze Crypto, and today we are going to be talking about DigiByte, which is currently valued at 0.025633. So to start things off, I saw this on Twitter. You want to see what blockchain innovation looks like? Check out this mind-blowing video of DigiByte's development over the years, and this video really speaks for itself. I'm definitely going to retweet it because Twitter definitely does have a great community of people who've been really doing a lot of the groundwork as far as providing the awareness of DigiByte's speed, and not only DigiByte's speed, but how it's dramatically underpriced, undervalued in comparison to the dramatically overvalued Bitcoin, in my opinion. But of course, these things are interesting because it really is a hallmark of that old age saying that they say the marketing sometimes and often eclipses talent. The one with the best marketing campaign, sadly, often does eclipse the ones that, but I mean, not now. Now we have an opportunity to really support DigiByte with I mean, if it's something that you're passionate about, it's certainly on you to have that opportunity to do so, and this would be a historical time to take action in that way. And interesting developments we've been seeing happening across the board involving cryptocurrencies at large. Seeing that market cap steady at 222, 037, 117, 106. As it currently stands at the time of making this video. Now, interesting seeing these different numbers. Certainly a lot of these different variables are due to events that are happening on an international scale. A lot of these different regulations and these sort of conversations that are really a driving force in the cryptocurrency space. And one of the running memes on this channel that we always talk about, that's really hard to ignore, central component of what people are forced to really draw their attention to, is the conversation about people who are the everyday consumers, right? And they're buying coffee at McDonald's, or they're buying coffee at Dunkin' Donuts, wherever people buy coffee nowadays. The point of the matter is, you focus on this fundamental transaction, this rudimentary core, this essential tradition of any country all across the world. This is happening. There are people buying goods using currency, and really one of the central hurdles that needs to be jumped right now by cryptocurrencies, namely, we're going to focus in on the Bitcoins, the Ethereums, these cryptos that are aiming to essentially replace Fiat, these cryptos that are aiming to really wedge themselves in and then compete with the essentially these quote unquote too big to fail, these USD, peso, the yen, this sort of paradox that needs to be overcome at this juncture regarding the central components of the paradigm shift of people really getting used to using their technology and interfacing with smart technology more and more as people are doing these different commerce and exchange of goods and these sort of things. So it's essentially interesting to see how DigiByte has been maneuvering and essentially focusing themselves in on security, for one, which is essentially a very key component when we talk about moving forward with all these different problems that have been arising as far as hacking is concerned, and a lot of these different problems that we run into when we look at the centralized operating components that are really dwindling in their public trust. So when we talk about Facebook losing its public appeal, a lot of people stopping altogether, closing their accounts and all these different things with Twitter, and essentially because it's essentially a problem with centralized control, which is why we talk about how the future is decentralized, this cryptocurrency hallmark of the new generation, of that sort of perspective, and moving things right along in that same way. But essentially, when we look at this conversation as it's been developing, the key the key term, really, the vocabulary that I'd like people to walk away here would be the word trust. And where is it, and how is it operating? So when we talk about people are going to use USD, they're going to use cold hard paper currency these days because they trust it. They trust that the value, and then where is that value being translated into the sort of digital framework of the non-tangible way of operating, and where does these sort of where do you draw the line to a certain extent? So it is interesting to see how DigiByte has been creating this foundation by focusing on cybersecurity, because when we see these different hospitals having trouble keeping track of your data, Facebook having trouble keeping track of your data, and of course irresponsibilities involving your data, and essentially it's going to be the technologies and the teams, DigiByte working day in and day out to essentially solve these key problems through the use of blockchain, essentially using these cryptocurrency, essentially these leading wave paradigm shifting technologies that are going to re-engineer the way that people approach these questions of trust and essentially cybersecurity at large, and where we could be expecting these things to be developing from that point moving forward. So it is definitely an interesting time. I mean, no question, DigiByte definitely does have a very strong community that's working out day and night as well. DigiByte awareness, I'd say, things are working out. I was watching this interesting these different videos about talking about you want to see what blockchain innovation really looks like, check out this mind-blowing video of DigiByte's development over the years. And I think that this sort of is a microcosm of what we can be. We were looking at this video earlier in the video, but it definitely is representative of how a decentralized network has that capability of working. And there were people out there who were talking about how this has similarities into how the operating of fungi, fungal intelligence, and how they were using different fungus to basically re-engineer the subway systems in a lot of these different places by really figuring out those connections in a way that's really impossible from that sort of perspective of the centralized components of control that attempt to have a monopoly on the network. But for realistic purposes, it definitely does take all these different individual units working in for their own goal servicing and that sort of thing. So it is interesting to see how DigiByte's been developing, where the team's been taking the project, and I'm definitely going to be interested in seeing how this project is going to be bringing ourselves out as we move forward into the future. The DigiByte community is certainly a very interesting example of how we've been seeing a lot of these different developments moving forward. So that's my wrap. That's what I have to say today. So I mean, if you guys are interested in connecting with us, you could also connect to this great Twitter. Our friend, it's managed by a similar team that manages all these sorts of different social media networks that are connected to Twitter, connected to well, they use Twitter. They're not really connected to Twitter, but they're connected in the sense that they're on the internet, driving awareness and retweeting the different memes that and really supporting a lot of these different content creators that are really doing the groundwork of getting people aware of these different things. And Photoshop is definitely a great tool, and all these different things. And if you find something interesting out there, be happy to follow these different accounts that are helping service the brand awareness of DigiByte, so that they don't get eclipsed by sort of the brand recognition of Bitcoin and all these others that Bitcoin Cash, the greater competition, as somebody's grandma might be a little bit more aware of Bitcoin at this stage in the game, as they are sort of a gatekeeper in that sense of understanding where these various different cryptocurrencies can be expecting themselves to go. But I see a DigiByte profile picture and I follow. That's as far as it's as simple as things go for me. But if you're interested in following my Twitter, of course it's always been the same. It's at CryptoTuber, and you guys can connect with us over there if you're interested in Now, of course, remember this video is for entertainment, educational purposes only. I'm not giving advice or anything like that. I mean, you could do whatever you want. But all that being said, I hope you guys found this video educational. All that being said, I hope that you guys have enjoyed this video. Feel free to connect with us on that old Snapchat and all those others. And all that being said, I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. Have a good one.